somehow, as I thought of that title, um, I just thought of a random song. I can't remember what it was called, but it goes like, "I'm not leaving, don't push me away, da 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 da," something like that.
It's been far too long to start walking back down this road. And we try too hard just to give up trying and go. 'Cause I never thought this would be easy. Are you struggling to see what I see? Let's rewind again. I'm not leaving, so push me away. 'Cause it's gotta get better. Stop believing it'll end up this way. 'Cause I want you, I need you to stay. Give me one more chance just to prove it's only today. 'Cause I don't believe that you mean the things that you say. 'Cause I never thought this would be easy. Are you struggling to see what I see?
What is up, everybody in the BanG Nation and worldwide? It is me, ElusiveOwl, once again here, back again with another reaction of BanG Dream. It's MyGO, and this is episode 5, and it is called "I'm Not Running Away, I'm Not Leaving." Oh, I forgot the name of the title of that song, but might put it down here for what the name of the title is, so that if you haven't heard it, you can check it out for yourself. So yeah. Anyways, this is, as I said, episode 5 of BanG Dream. It's MyGO, and it's "I'm Not Running Away." So last time, well, at the very end, not talking about the post-credit scene, although I'll get to it again. So the potential band who's going to become MyGO was getting ready to do practice and everything, and then if I can somehow conjure up the names again in my head, yeah, the group decided that one of them decided, like, shall we do Taki, that was it. Taki suggests, shall we do spring sunlight, and Tomoe, Soyo, and come on, one more. Yeah, and all the others were like, should we really do that? Should we really perform that song after what happened with Kraichi? The tiger was like, screw it. So she grabbed out the spreadsheet of the music note to Spring Sunlight, put it down, and she was ready to play that song. So she was like, you know what, we're gonna give a big FU to Kraichi, and we're just gonna play the song. It was like, all right, I guess we're gonna play that song. I don't know if that was said or anything, but then at the end, door opens, guitar case comes in, and then you see Rana, yeah, who was in that discussion table earlier on about plans for the band, and yeah, and she was like, so, are we gonna play? And it's like, but we didn't invite you to come and play with us. So like, what are you doing here? But if I'm like a listener to this person who I just found out of nowhere and started playing the guitar, started playing the chords like really well, and then just and then the next following days she comes back in while we're practicing and says, "Are we gonna play?" I would immediately said, "Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can play with us. And if you want to join the band, feel free to, you know." So yeah, absolutely. So this is going to be the next member to be featured in the band. Maybe she's going to show off her chords, because just like in the preview of what we got for this following episode, she looks like she's about to play some chords for a new band. So yeah, I think she's going to do like showing off some chords that she's played off the other day, in front of Anon. That's it, Anon and Sawyer. That was it. From episode 2. That was it. I was gonna say 3, but 3 was the Crychi backstory. That was it. So yeah. So she's gonna show off her skills. The others will like it. Maybe one of them might have doubts. I don't know. But then, post-credit scene, we had Sumimi, the band that was featured on episode 1 when Anon was taking Tamori to the karaoke session. And Sumimi was there, and one of them is going to be featured in the Avi Mojika band that's going to be potentially in the making for this series as well. So I can't wait for that. But yeah, you saw at the end there of the post-credit scene, you saw those two of them having like their session, and they're both taking a break in like their backstage area, and the one that is having the phone, the texts on her phone, gets one from Sakiko, and yeah, and she's got a comment from her, and from the way that she looked at the comment, it looks like that she's a close friend to this Sumimi member, or like Sakiko is a big fan of Sakiko. Yeah, but something's gonna happen to that band, or Sakiko's gonna like break a negotiation with her, and you know talk to her about her talents, and potentially get her into this new band that she's developing into for Avi Mojika. So yeah. By the way, I want to say, just before I get started, I want to thank you for all the comments that I've received, for not only in my last one but for my previous ones as well. Of course, Jeffy being one of them, and the others as well that I can't name on the top of my head, so I apologize. I haven't gotten to fully understanding the usernames, but I want to thank you all for your comments about what I've missed out and everything, and something like that. So yeah. So apparently there was a comment that said during episode 1 that when I'll get to like episode 2. So in episode 2 we saw, Saya is now working at the ring place because her baker, because she's graduated, of course. And apparently in the background you can also hear Katsumi as well in the backdrop. and I haven't been able to hear that. Yeah, I haven't heard Kasumi's voice. Also, in episode 3 of the Kraichi episode, when I said that I blinked at who the band was that was just across the street, apparently that was Milphonica, but I thought it was Tomoe's like bandmates that are part of Kraichi. But no, apparently it was the Milphonica members that was just across the street from her. Although it did look like to be her friends, but it could be Milphonica. Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna argue with the Collins yeah. And there was one other comment, but I forgot what it was that I needed to point it out. What was it? I forgot what it was. Or like I'm just saying stuff out of my head that I don't even know. So yeah. So we're gonna get into episode 5 now. I've rambled on for like 10 minutes. So yeah, let's just get into this episode, shall we? This is episode 5. I'm not running away. In Bang Dream, it's MyGO. So let's get this episode started, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, here we go. So yeah, that was episode 5. That was I'm Not Running Away. So yeah, pretty decent episode. I must say. And we've got a very good explanation from why Anon transferred back to Japan from England. So when she was in secondary, because I've said during the reaction that there is primary and secondary school, which is like kindergarten and middle school, for different education systems between different places and the UK. But yeah, she went to England in her secondary, and she was meeting other students who were speaking English, but the actors were Japanese, but they were speaking very good English as well. But there was like 2 people in that particular scene, that were British. I think the one girl that was sitting on her class table, that she was ready to begin, and the teacher of the school. So yeah, both of them sounded quite British, but the girl on the chair sounded very British. She just needed her folder, an apple, and maybe to add in an extra, a cup of brew, like Yorkshire tea, Tetley, all the likes of tea of cups of teas, and they're just drinking it like this, So yeah. But it's really good to see that backstory of Anon, of her time over in the Grand British of the UK, in England. So yeah, but it was just too much of a language barrier. I mean, she does speak good English, but the language barrier is I think too much for her to comprehend. Anyways, moving besides from that backstory, it starts off with Rana just like, you know, she showcased her guitar and she said that her guitar was from her grandma's. So that brings me to a question of what band did her grandma perform with? Like, was she in the Bang Dream series? Or is she in this series? Like, I'm just thinking in the top of my head, could it be? I'm gonna come off with a really daft opinion here, and say, is her grandma the owner from Livehouse Galaxy? Is it the owner? The owner herself? Is that her grandma? Because, you know, she used to be in a band, you know. And she did say it's from my grandma's, but I don't think she gave a description of what her grandma was in or anything like that. But yeah, that was I'm just throwing it right off the bat there, and say it could be the owner from Galaxy, that, you know, that could be related to her, you know. So yeah, that's what I'm just gonna throw it right off there. Just a shot in the dark, but yeah. Anyways, Tamoy was Tamoy wasn't feeling confident because they were discussing about for the band, and that they should have a live performance. But for Tamoy, it's like, if we perform in a live performance, it's going to be the end of us. So she's thinking a lot again from what happened in her history with Kraichi, you know, like, if they perform, like, you know, they're gonna get comments again from social medias and the likes of that stuff, and it's gonna break up the band from those comments. But Tomoe is, but she doesn't. I don't think she knows of what's really going on with Sakiko's side, really. Like, I've said this again during. I think I've said this during episode 3, and that was the comments could be. No, I think I've said this in the last one. The comments could be referring to, not from social media, but I think from her parents. That she could possibly be transferring to a new school, and she did not like that, and but she had to go anyway, and then she took the frustration out of her bandmates, to say, like, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, and all the other stuff. But she was like building up this anger because she was going to a different school, and it was going to be away from her bandmates. So yeah, so maybe Sakiko isn't going to be as bad as we thought. Maybe. You know, I mean, sure, she's gonna be in Avi Mojika with her new bandmates, but still can't help but think that she's gonna think of her bandmates again. You know. So, yeah. What else? Oh yeah, Popping party and afterglow. Of course, Saya and Soonji was at the ring. They had a discussion and they said like, shall we organize for It's MyGO? Or they we haven't gotten the band name yet, but shall we have this band with no name perform? And they was like, okay, yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll have them take the stage and everything. So yeah, so a pop-in party and afterglow discussion for one member, and they've agreed to having a concert for them. So they are sponsoring them, you know. So yeah, they've got their sponsors now. But of course, Tomoe again doesn't want to perform. She said that towards Anon as she just pushed her out of the classroom, of her own classroom, you know, because the both of them are in the same classroom, and so she's in Hananoka. Yeah, both pushed each other. But Tomoe was pushing Anon and saying like, "I'm not going to perform" and everything like that. And then I really love the scene with Taki and Soyo. As Taki was watching a performance from Sumimi on the big LED screen. Taki talked to Soyo about the song that Tomoe wrote from their last band, Kraichi, and saying like, you know, the song that Tomoe wrote reminded me of how it felt like it was towards me, and how good it was to be in the band, and how I felt alive being in that band. Like, it was the best feeling that I've ever had, and stuff like that. And it was like my ego came out of me, and something like that she said. So I really liked that scene and how serious it was, from you know, the different camera angle or point of views. You know, it was going with a much drama tone from its angles, and yeah, I loved it. And speaking of drama, the near ending scene where, you know, the band was sitting in what looked like to be in Subway, because they had their like Subway cups and everything like that. They were speaking about, they were discussing more about the concert, and Taki said, what was it that Taki said? We shouldn't do the concerts because of Tomoe. But then Anon just stepped in and said, like, you know, maybe we should perform. Like, we can do this. We just need to build up encouragement. But then Taki was like, no, are you out of your mind? If Tomoe said literally that she's not feeling ready for it because of what happened within her last band and everything. And then more discussion came in between the two, and then Anon ran away from the discussion, and it was funny as well because the title for this episode said "I'm not running away," but Anon literally ran away from that discussion. So it's like, okay. So what's the point of the title there? Because she has run away from that title point of view. But then she came across two girls that seemed very familiar with her. I don't know if they were from her last school, like if those are her friends from England, or the ones before she got transferred to England. because she was in a different school from that first backstory, and she was talking with the others, saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to England to learn there and stuff like that." So it could be her friends from that first school that that she was in, and then she was. What I thought like she was having a meltdown from that discussion between her friends and all, but apparently that was all just an illusion. It was all an illusion. She hasn't sunk down to that level. But then Tomoe just stepped in, grabbed her arm, and just took her away. And she took her to this nice aquatic aquarium that had lots of penguins. Yes, penguins. Lots and lots of penguins. Yeah. So, as I said, there was a backstory with Chuya about her time in England, that she spent there in her time. Oh yeah, we'll go back to the discussion with her and Taki, and that was Taki said to Anon about her chords playing in a DNF style, and then I think she said something like, "Is that all you know? Is the DNF chords?" And Anon was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna run away from it." So yeah, that begins to wonder. I'm beginning to wonder about her guitar playing skills, because we see her in times, she's got her guitar, she's sitting down, she's staring at her guitar, and she's trying to, and there's the thing, there was, she's looking from her pad, from her iPad, at that one scene. She was looking at different chords between like B and other chords as well. I noticed the B chord was in that pad, so maybe she doesn't really know how to fully play the guitar. Like she probably is a beginner at the guitar playing. Like she doesn't know how to play the guitar more. Like at first we thought like she could be a really good guitarist, but no. Now we're just beginning to develop that, wait a minute, she could be a beginner, She doesn't know how to play the guitar fully. Like she knows like a couple of chords, and she doesn't know how to do this chord, do that chord, and all the others, So yeah, that brags me to wonder about her guitar playing skill and all that stuff. So yeah, there's a couple of questions in my mind about this episode regarding Rana's grandma, Anon's guitar playing skill, of course. The backstory on the England part, I pretty much got much of that really, because it's a language barrier that got pretty much too much for Anon. And yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we then finished off at the end saying like, shall we move forward together? That's what Tomoe said. Because those were nice moments between the two of them, because Tomoe had her story, and Anon had her story, and yeah, they're both gonna move forward together, be in a new band, and they both held hands, walked up to Sawyer and Taki, and said, "We're ready to do the performance," and that cued the episode right there. So yeah, all in all, I really liked this episode. It was pretty good. Still some questions in my mind about what I've just explained there. But yeah, pretty good. But yeah, that's going to do it, guys, for this episode. So I want to thank you all for watching my reaction to this episode. And if you have any comments about what I should have pointed out for this episode, then please let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll read those out and give them a like as well. So, of course. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. If you enjoyed it, then make sure to hit the like button down below. And if you're new to my channel, I want to check out more of my videos, then you can by hitting that subscribe button and in that notification bell for more updating content when I upload my next video. Of course, the original video, the link to the reaction will be down below in the description as well, so that you can go and check that out. And yeah, just like I said, leave your comments from what I've just explained, and yeah, let me know your thoughts about this episode, and let me know what I should have pointed out. But yeah, with all that being said, everyone, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode of BanG Dream. It's MyGO. Oh God, Bandery. So yeah, who shall I compare Anon and Tomoe to in The Last of Us, since they're moving forward together, and it's kind of like The Last of Us between those two. So who's Joel and who's Ellie? Yeah, Anon's kind of like Joel and Tomoe's like Ellie, but yeah, I don't see him. But they're not like mature. I mean, I would see Taki more as like of Ellie, you know, but yeah. Anyways, I'm just rambling now. I'll see you all in the next one.